I'm about to teach you 4 simple methods of how to quickly and safely make your own shims anywhere. Now, why would anyone want to do that? Shims are cheap as borscht, and it takes time to make them, right? Well, plot twist, smartass. Those stupid wood wedges are integral to most projects, and it's easy to run out of them throughout the day, or forget to pick some up at the hardware store before heading out for the day. And recently, in my case, I ran out of those shims at a job site that was an hour away from the nearest hardware store. So, I made my own on site, saved myself some headaches, and a small fortune in fuel. So here's 4 methods of safely making shims with limited tools and resources. Method number 1 for cutting a bunch of shims. This is going to be your most simple and easiest method, but it's going to give you the roughest shims, but probably the quickest too. So take your rough stock, a scrap piece of 2x6 in this case. Let's say you want to make 9-inch shims. Roughly mark it out, doesn't have to be pretty. Go up to that line, and you're going to take a circular saw, and you're just going to run your circular saw up to this line, make a bunch of cuts. When you get to the end, don't pull your saw out before the blade stops spinning, or it might catch and bind on you and kick the saw back to you. Stop it. Now I pull her out. So that one made a bit of a wedge this way. So this one I'm going to try and make a bit of a wedge that way. You see? Now I'm going to go this way. And so on and so forth. And as you can see, I'm just freehanding these. I don't know if I want to go much further than that because I don't have a lot of material for the plate of my saw to rest on, so it's easy to tip, and then that could cause a kickback. So just something to be aware of. Once you got a bunch of shims cut, as you can see, they're not perfect. All you need to do now is just stay on this side of your cuts. And the whole whack-a-mole of shims. For method number 2A, we're going to take a scrap 2x material, or it could be 1x, whatever. In this case, I got a 2x6. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to straighten one edge, make sure it's at 90 degrees. So we'll set the saw to 0. So this piece is 5.5 wide because it's a 2x6. So we're going to cut it 5.5 long. If this was a 2x8, you could go 7.25. If this was a 2x10, you would go 9.25, 2x12, 11.25, and you get the picture. On our second cut, rather than cut 90 degrees or 0, we're going to set our saw at a slight angle of 1 to 1.5, maybe 1.5, because it's a shorter piece. The more angle you set, the steeper your wedge is going to be. So we'll go 1.5. And get rid of this and set your saw back to 0. So now, one squared off edge, 90 degrees, one angle edge. Take your angle edge, put that against the fence, like so. Make sure your grain is running lengthwise into the fence, so you're cutting with the grain. Don't put it this way again, so you're cutting cross grain, or you're going to completely defeat the purpose. So I'm going to cut a shim cross grain just to show you why you don't want to do a cross grain shim. So this one is with the grain, going this way. She's fairly strong, not going to break on you. And this one, the grain's running this way, crossways. So if you go to hammer that in, she's just going to snap on you. And it's going to work very well. Whereas this one, you can hammer her in, and she's going to be nice and strong. So this method, you're going to use a clamp to clamp your board down. You can use your hands to hold in place, but I don't like that. It's a little too close to the saw blade for me. You can use one of your clamps that come with a mitre saw, but this one's only going to really work with a wider board, such as a 2x8, 2x10, 2x12. 2x6 isn't going to work. So maybe you have something like this, like an F clamp. So you're just going to clamp this into place without it moving everywhere. And I know this is a little awkward, but better than losing your fingers. And I'll show you a better method in a moment. So, she's good. So we got one kind of shim wedge there. Here's your clamp. And we're going to take our piece, and all we're going to do is leave the saw settings alone. We're going to take it, and we're going to flip it end for end. Put that other end against the fence. And now what you can see is our angle has slightly alternated. And if you want to keep cutting more shims, just keep doing the same thing. Just keep flipping your end for end. Line her up. Clamp her down. Stay sturdy. Always wait till your saw blade stops spinning before you get your piece. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had to make some shims in a pinch. Also, if you enjoy this type of content and find it useful, drop a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks. Method 2B, we're going to ditch the clamp. Favor for a setup that takes us a little bit longer, but it's going to be faster once you're done setting it up. Again, take your scrap 2x material, and in this case again it's a 2x6. This is crucial. So the first cut you're going to make is the piece you're going to cut your shims out of, and we're going to cut that no wider than the board that you're making your shims out of. So this is a 2x6 material. We're going to only cut it as wide as a 2x6, which is 5.5. If it was 2x8, it has to be 7 1/4. If it was 2x10, it has to be 9 1/4. 2x12, 11 1/4. So 5.5, no wider, as long as our shims are going to be in this case. Set that aside. No need to cut angles on this one. So that's done. Next we need to make a little handle. So that we're going to just cut about 8 inches. Keep your hands away from the piece. So, and we got to make one more piece that is a little bit longer than our handle, about 1.5 inches longer. Shim material. We're going to turn that lengthwise so that we're cutting our shim stock out of the length of the piece. And then we're going to put our handle that's going to sit up right tight beside it. And then this is going to be a piece that's going to go over top. The reason why it had to be 1.5 inches longer is because it needs to overlap and our handle and onto our stock by a little bit so we can put a screw into there. All you're going to do is on your little bit longer piece, you're going to pre-drill a couple holes. Probably going to want to pre-drill them so when you put the screws in, you're not going to split the grain. Make sure you have some screws that are not too long that they're going to go through, but long enough that they're going to bite. Important to make sure you sink your heads in. Now once you got that screwed in here, you're just going to screw this down here. So now that everything's screwed together, you're going to change the angle on your saw to about, I don't know, 1.5 degrees. Lock that in place. Line it up. One shim. Now there's no fumbling with the clamp. All we're going to do is just take this, flip her over. It goes like that. Flip her over end for end. Now she's upside down. Angle stays the same. Line her up where you need to. There you go. Second shim. Now if you find it's spitting out your pieces like it did on me, you might want to put a backer board on there. Flip her over end for end again. There's a shim. And again, just flip her like that, end for end. Now see with this board behind her, it's not spitting the shims out the back. And the other nice thing is, we can see, I can actually line the board up a little easier because I can see where cuts are being made. Flip her end for end. You can keep going right up until you get to the end of your piece. You don't want to be cutting into your screws at all. But that way you can use up a lot of your stock and you still got some fingers at the end. We're going to cut this 15 inches, doesn't have to be exact. Next thing, you need some scrap OSB or plywood. That's a little wider. If this is 2 by 12, I'm going to cut the plywood or OSB, whatever you got, a little bit wider, about maybe an inch. Go 1.5 inches. So let's go 12.5 inches. The other thing you should probably do is just make a board to fit in your slots on your saw. You could cut up a piece of 2x material, or in this case, I got a piece of plywood that's 3/4 inch that works pretty darn good. Doesn't have to be anything fancy for this, because again, it's just a Frankenstein setup. And we got this, which is going to fit in our track on our saw. Take our 2x material. This has got to be the same thickness as this stock we're making shims out of. And I want it to be this thick at the end, about 15 inches long, taper to nothing. At the front of your jig, just space out your jig as much as you want. In this case, 3/8 inch. Line your fence up to your saw blade at the front. Right there. Lock her in. Now, just leave that shim there. Take your plywood. Make sure she's not sticking out past the back here. That'll be important for in a moment. Take some screws and fasten your plywood down. In this case, 3 is plenty. Next, we're going to take a little 2P10 or CA glue with an activator. So I'm going to bead along this board here on the saw. Don't want to get too much because we don't need it all over the saw bed. And we're just going to drop this in here, lining up our piece to fence here. Press that down. She good. Again, I got 2x4. This is roughly 23 inches, so I'm gonna have a good amount of hold here. And I'm gonna put 3 screws into the bottom 2x material here. Butterfingers, holy Jesus. Again, this is not going anywhere, that CA glue. There we go. We got this here. Also push. We got the fence locked in place with this. And with this bottom guide in here, this isn't going to twist out of the way. Keep everything locked in, but if you felt like you needed to, you could always put a couple screws into here if you had to. Now we're just going to raise our saw blade up, so it's just raising the jig just slightly off the table. We're just going to run it through once. We don't want the blade any taller than this plywood, because that way we're not cutting, well, one, we don't want to cut this off, two, it's going to keep our hands away from the blade. Make sure to take this off before you start your saw on, if you don't want the saw kicking this back into you. It would suck. So now we got our scrap stock of 2x whatever. This is what we're going to make our shims out of. So our shim material is going to sit flush against the back of this, so it's not going to get kicked out that way. She's going to sit and slide up against our 2x material under here. And then this is going to help keep it from flipping up that way. So now I cut that, so we just got a little more room. And let's give her a go. Would you look at that? One shim. So now that we cut one, our flip over method is going to be hold true in this case. We're not going to keep on running it through this way because it's going to get a little more cockeyed, so we're going to have to flip her that way, and then flip her back, and flip her. Two. Now, let's say you get to the end of this board and you got not much left, like, you know, to put that in there, there's not anything to hold. You're not going to want to put your finger here because the chances of running your finger into the board are pretty great. And at the same time, you're not going to want to just push this without holding it because it's going to flip out on you like that. And who the hell knows where that's going to go and what's going to happen. So again, simple job site thing you can do. Don't need a lot of material. It could be 2x4, it could be just a simple piece of plywood. Just going to cut out one length that you can hold on to, and another small length that you can screw down to. So one long piece, one short piece. Trick is the short piece has got to be thicker than your top board, so it's got to come down a little bit. And that's just going to go on there. And you can use that to pull your board in. This is now hidden behind here. No point going on with it. Toss it. But, able to get a shim over there. Well, there you have it. 4 relatively easy, quick and safe methods of making shims in a pinch. And if this video was useful, check out some of my other videos too, like these. Thanks for watching.